In this video, we're going to look at how I'm doing with sports card flipping on COMC in 2022. In other videos, we've focused already on cards that have been bought elsewhere and sold on COMC as an option, and we've also looked at how we can take advantage of some of the occasional special events that COMC has. In this video, we're just going to look during normal times if it's possible to make some pretty good money flipping sports cards on COMC in 2022. Alright, so in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and go through my first 3 months of COMC sales, not including cards that I've bought elsewhere and sold on the platform, not including cards that I sold during the COMC eBay no minimum bid auction special event. I've made videos about those two things. I'll link them above if you want to look into those. In this one, I'm going to focus on the other ones, the cards that I'm just buying and then putting them back up for sale and flipping at normal times to see, what's happening. I know during the sports card spike, this was a common approach and people were making tons of money. And a lot of people are saying that nowadays it's not so possible. The market has evened itself out. But I think if we look at what I've been doing over the past 3 months, we'll see that there still are plenty of possibilities out there. All right, so the statistics, the numbers I'm going to share in here are everything from January 1st up to March 27th, just because that's when I, collected all this data. So basically the first 3 months. So during the first 3 months of 2022, I have bought 1,077 cards on the COMC platform. That's bought directly on the platform, not sent in or anything like that, but actually purchased on the platform. During the same 3 months, I have sold a total of 592 cards. Now, of those 592, 85 of them were cards that I had sent to the platform, so that brings it down to 507 that I've sold, that I've bought there. And of that 507, 253 of those were from that January no minimum auction fee event, which I've also made a video on already. So now we're going to focus on the other 254 cards. So these are the 254 cards that I have sold that I bought on COMC and I've sold within this 3 months, just through regular. They've been sitting on the platform, not through auctions, not through anything, just from sitting on the platform. At the end, I'll also share my top 5 flips so far in 2022 as well. So these 254 cards, I've spent a total of $1,382 on them, and I have sold them after the COMC transaction fee. I have sold them for $1,849 for a profit of $467, which is about a 34% return, which is pretty solid. I mean, I think even during the sports card spike, that would have been a pretty reasonable number to be getting. So I think the possibilities are there if you're actually approaching this strategically. I have made several videos. I made one about 5 of the strategies that I've been using on COMC, and then another one that has 7 more strategies. So I think there's strategies. This isn't just random. You have to really think about your approach. But this has brought me back a 34% return, so that's pretty solid. So now let's just add up everything. So, that was a $467 profit on those 254 cards. In the earlier video, I showed you a $567.41 profit I made on another 253 cards that were sold through the no minimum bid auction event. And then I also made another video that showed my $904.08 profit on the 85 cards that I have sent into the platform directly. So adding all of those in together, during the first 3 months of 2022, my total profit on COMC for $1,938.49, and this is based on, I've totally invested about $7,000 in sports cards so far, so this is still, I haven't made back my money yet, but if you're building a business and you make $2,000 of your $7,000 investment back in like about 3 months, that's pretty solid. I think, I'm reinvesting most of this right back into the COMC platform itself. So I'm hoping that it builds itself up and that eventually, at this pace, it should be 8 months when I get back my initial investment, and then everything from there on becomes pure profit. That's my goal, at least. So as to the question of whether or not COMC is a good place to make some money flipping cards in 2022, I'd say the answer from my experience here is clearly yes. But you really have to think about how to approach this strategically. Now for some fun, let's take a look at my 5 most profitable flips so far in 2022. Keep in mind that my strategy thus far has been more about quantity than it has been about any massive one flip gains. So none of these are going to look like those mega multiple $100 quick gains that some people may have been experiencing back during the sports card spike boom a couple of years ago. In fact, like half the sales of these 254 cards had gains of like 50 cents or less. But I'm approaching this that a bunch of small gains add up, and these 5 here are ones that had the biggest of these smaller gains. Well, some of these are relatively, in my perspective, relatively big gains as well. Number 5, the DeMar DeRozan 2009-10 Studio Materials Memorabilia rookie, numbered out of 249, which I bought for $17.81, sold for $28.26 like 3 days later for a profit of $10.45. So this was one I saw it on the platform for that price. I just thought it was an unrealistically low price for DeMar DeRozan with the year he's been having. So I figured somebody would be wanting that card for more than that. So I bought it immediately, put it back up for sale, had offers on it within several hours. And then 3 days later, I had sold it for a nice $10.45 profit. 4 was the Trae Young 2018-19 Optic rated rookie in PSA 9, which I bought for $26.67, sold for $40.85 for a $14.18 profit. So this was one that I had bought at a good deal because I was buying 3 of them at the same time, so I was able to get a nice little discount on them. Sometimes if you buy multiples of a certain card, you can get a little discount, if the seller is motivated to get rid of them and they still make a little bit of a profit. If you buy multiples, you can sometimes get a little discount. So that's what I did here and made a nice $14 profit. Number 3 is the Isaac Okoro 2021 Court Kings Fresh Paint Violet rookie, which is an autograph card and numbered out of 49, which I bought for just $19.90, sold a week later for $35.86 for a $15.96 profit. So this was another one that when I saw it popped up on the recently added section, it just looked unrealistically low price. So I think he's kind of undervalued a little bit compared to other players in that class. So I was kind of like, okay, this is a nice card numbered out of 49. It's an autograph. This is cool looking. This is going to sell at some point. So I put it up for sale, and a week later, it sold for a nice solid margin. Number 2 is the Ja Morant 2019-20 NBA Hoops Premium Stock Purple Disco Prism, which I bought for $33, sold for $60.44 for a profit of $27.44. So this was another one, I know Ja Morant had been taking a spike. He'd been playing so well, so his cards had gone up. This particular card didn't seem to have gone up yet for some reason, so I grabbed it at the price it would have probably sold for several months ago, put it up for sale much higher, and sold it after a couple of weeks. Solid profit. And number 1, this one was actually really hard for me to get rid of. If I was actually living in the States, what I probably would have done is sent this one to myself, sent it in to get graded, and then figure out something to do with it. But since I'm living abroad, doing that whole process is not so easy for me, so I went ahead and just took the profit on this one. So this is the 2003-4 Upper Deck Collectibles Freshman Season Collection of LeBron James, guarded by Kobe Bryant. Now, most of the cards in this particular set, there's so many LeBron James rookies in this Upper Deck Collectibles thing, and it's like all LeBron James stuff, and then most of the cards are worth like $3 or something, but this particular card just looks so iconic. The particular picture, that's LeBron and Kobe. Just the artistic style of that image is like, this is a beautiful picture. This is a beautiful card. I really want this card. So when I saw it for sale, somebody had it on like a 40% off sale, and when I looked up the price, it was a really good price, and it felt like the kind of card that was going to go up. So I just went ahead and grabbed it. $74.63 was my buying price. Now originally I put the price up quite high. Like I wasn't expecting to sell it. I was thinking more like, okay, I'm going to try to hold on to this one. I'm going to get it sent in for grading later. It's just such a beautiful card. This feels like it should be an iconic card, even though it's not super rare or anything. It just has that feeling. So I put it up for quite high, but then pretty soon after that, somebody offered me something that would have brought me a nice return, and I was thinking, do I want to make this money now, or do I want to hold on to it and try to make more later? And my approach right now is, okay, I'm going to try to make more in a shorter amount of time now so that I can reinvest it into other things, and I can kind of be building up my inventory. If I have to have something sit there all the way until I move back to the US, all the way until COMC sends it to me, all the way until I send it into PSA or BGS or SGC or CSG or whatever, and then get it back and then put it back up for sale, that whole process would take me forever. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and make a $40 profit right here. So I sold it $114, made a $39.37 profit in just a couple of weeks. And I'm okay with that. Somebody else got this card for I think a good price, and I made $40 on it. Wonderful. All right, so those were my top 5 best flips so far in 2022. Hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.